quickly dive in with some breaking inputs coming in from cricket after the showdown over the Asia Cup trophy. Another embarrassment awaiting for Pakistan. This as the PCB chief Mohsin Naqvi has apologized at the ACC meeting, agreeing to send the trophy to the ICC. And in fact, CNN News 18 has accessed the first image of the Asia Cup trophy at the ACC office, which has been accessed by us. Naqvi was also admonished by the BCCI for demanding that the Indian skipper visits Dubai to collect this trophy. But that certainly means there's going to be more trouble brewing for Mohsin Naqvi. Now, will India be accepting this apology? Because remember, there was already news coming in that indicated that BCCI was all prepared to go ahead with an impeachment of Mohsin Naqvi. Will that happen or not? But for now, Mohsin Naqvi has in fact offered an apology. What does this apology mean? Not just for the PCB, but also for Pakistan, given that India is already highlighting the stance that Mohsin Naqvi is in fact holding a position which is also marking a conflict of interest, and that his actions in Dubai were more to do with being Pakistan's interior minister than being the ACC chief. And so India will now be demanding that he should be removed from that position. But BCCI Vice President Rajiv Shukla has also told the ACC that the trophy belongs to the council and not to any individual. Let's quickly go across to Vineet Ramakrishnan, who is joining me with more inputs on that news story. So Vineet, take us through what will be India's point of attack right now as it takes the case now to ICC.
Well, India's point of attack is very much clear that Mohsin Naqvi has not been able to conduct himself from the position of an authority that he's supposed to be as the Asian Cricket Council chair. Right from the start, not just the presentation ceremony fiasco, after that taking the trophy back to his own hotel room, having it in his possession. Beyond that as well, right from the start of this controversy, the handshake saga, it was Mohsin Naqvi put out a tweet saying that we will boycott the game. He put out a tweet against Andy Pycroft, and then the Cristiano Ronaldo meme that he also shared. So none of these acts pretty much tells you that he is an ACC chair or he conducted himself as the authority of the ACC chair. So there are a lot of points that India could attack. And finally, look, from all the perspective, what we can see is that he did not conduct himself as the PCB chair or the ACC chair. It was more of the interior minister at play. That is what everybody could really pretty much see here. And his antics at the presentation ceremony, not recusing himself from the presentation ceremony, when India clearly said that they are not going to take the trophy from anybody from the Pakistan side, yet making his stand, standing there saying that, taking it in his own ego, saying that I'll be the one who will be presenting the trophy, making himself bigger than the tournament itself. So these are the point of attacks for India, and pretty much everywhere you have seen that the Indian team have been very much clear in their conduct right from the start. They have given their messages very much clear, but it was Mohsin Naqvi who tried to undermine the Indian team and their decision at every juncture. And again, I have to say that this was not an ACC chair at his position or a PCB chair. It was more so from an interior minister of Pakistan trying to get his antique right there or narrative in question out there.
All right, stay with me, Vineet. Let me quickly go across to Shivani as well, who's joining us from the newsroom. Shivani, reports are also indicating that there was a softening of tone and tenor as far as Naqvi was concerned during the ACC meeting of 30th September. What are you learning from your sources? Is the apology too little, too late? And why is India now in no mood to forgive Naqvi?
Yes, I think it is too little and too late. The behavior of the ACC chief, frankly, he's leaving Dubai today, is from what we've heard. So it doesn't matter that he's not, he's handed over the trophy to the ACC headquarters. What else was he going to do? He wasn't going to take it to Pakistan. So he hasn't done any favors to India or to the ACC. But in the last couple of days, whatever has transpired, it's been 2 days since the final of the Asia Cup. He certainly hasn't allowed some sort of a resolution to come forth and say, okay, the final presentation couldn't happen. Here is the trophy. Let's figure out a way forward and let's hand it over to the board that has won this trophy. But that obviously was not his intent, right? So I think both on counts of his action and intent, it has been clear he wanted to completely politicize this issue. He misused his position as the ACC chief to kind of make a point more on behalf of Pakistan than anything else. It's not like ACC as a body has any issue. It's not like ACC as a body couldn't have figured out that somebody else can hand over that trophy to Indian team even on the night of the final. But it is only Mohsin Naqvi as the ACC chief who has kind of, thrown his weight around and ensured that either that presentation went on or that, that trophy could be handed over to India soon enough. But now, I don't think there is any reason for the BCCI to relent. They should certainly and will possibly file a complaint both with the ACC and the ICC on Mohsin Naqvi's behavior.
All right, stay with me, Shivani and Vineet. Payal also joins us live from the studio. So, Payal, taking that point that Shivani was making forward, India is also highlighting how this is clearly a case of conflict of interest because the actions of Mohsin Naqvi in Dubai were more to do with his position as Pakistan's interior minister than being the ACC chief.
Well, that's not the concern that India has also raised, but that's also a concern that the Pakistani side is now raising. You remember there are news articles which say that Shahid Afridi has questioned Mohsin Naqvi's capability of handling multiple responsibilities. He said either you become the PCB chief or either you remain the ACC chief or you remain the interior minister of the country as well. Mohsin Naqvi has embarrassed his own, set of players multiple times. In fact, the Indian team waited on the field for about 55 minutes for Mr. Naqvi to step down and allow somebody else to give the trophy away, but he did not really budge. And 55 minutes odd for the Pakistani side were also lodged inside the dressing room because they did not know really what to do. Also on an earlier occasion, when India was pulled up by the PCB for actually having not shaken hands with them as well, even when the ICC allowed them an opportunity to get a clarification from the referee concerned over there, Akanksha, even then you would have seen that Pakistani side played foul there as well. They went into the non-shooting area, the area where the players and the officials stand. That's where you're not allowed to use your phone. They pushed in the Pakistani media manager in there, shot the video, released it in Pakistani media, so much so that the ICC CEO had to actually raise questions on their conduct as well. So obviously Pakistan has been a rogue nation that everybody knows. And for what attitude were they seen throwing that check? Nobody really is able to understand. If there is any country which actually needed the money at this moment the most, it was Pakistan. But their conduct of the PCB chief playing the role of the Pakistan's interior minister and the kind of commentary that is written on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's tweet congratulating Team India saying Operation Sindoor is now on the games field, that was completely uncalled for.
Okay. Vineet, let me quickly bring you in on what the ACC protocols state, because that is exactly what India has been maintaining so far, that by asking or demanding that the skipper in fact collects the trophy from Dubai was in fact, it was a gross blunder on his part as well, because he was using his own ad hoc diktats instead of going ahead with the ACC protocols.
Well, the ACC protocol never really defines it in the sense that only the ACC chair or the ACC chief has to give out the trophy. There have been in the past instances. Most recent one, look at the Champions Trophy that happened in Dubai. It was hosted by Pakistan. Mohsin Naqvi would have been supposedly given the trophy. He did not travel. There was another representative who gave the trophy to Team India after they won. 2022 Asia Cup, similar thing happened. The ACC chief at that point in time was not there in Dubai. And a representative from their side, that the Sri Lankan side, gave the trophy away. So there's no, from an ACC point of view, no diktat that this is the only person who have to be, trophy has to be given. And what we are learning is in these 72 hours, there were a lot of solutions or lot of other things that were talked about. After the Indian team said they will not be taking the trophy from Mohsin Naqvi, the ECB chief, the Emirates Cricket Board chief, the Emirati Mr. I'm forgetting the name, but he was also there. He could have given the trophy, but Mohsin Naqvi said, no, it is my prerogative. I will be the one giving the trophy. So he took it upon himself as an ego thing that I will be the one who will be giving the trophy, even if you have to come or not. So, it boils down to his own thing as his own narrative. He wanted to point out saying that Pakistan are taking a stand. But then again, it was very foolhardy to really not recluse himself from that over presentation ceremony, and really tells you he was the one who wanted to create this controversy rather than trying to get it done in the most